Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel which is Explore Yourself. Please subscribe the channel and also please do like and share and leave your suggestions in the comment section. Today I am going to share the details of SCLCSS, Stand Up India Scheme, Star WEAVER Mudra Scheme, TUFS, Cluster Based Lending. Bank of India SCLCSS, Special Credit Linked Capital Subsidy Scheme. Purpose: Special Credit Linked Capital Subsidy Scheme (SCLCSS) has been introduced under the National SCST Hub. The scheme is governed by Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India through National SC/ST Hub (NSSH), and scheme shall remain valid till 31st March 2026. Objective: The objective is to promote setting up of new enterprises by aspiring entrepreneurs and capacity building of existing MSEs for enhanced participation of SC or ST entrepreneurs in the public procurement. SCLCSS is applicable for SC, ST, micro and small units for the purchase of plant and machinery and equipment for term loan from the prime lending institution. Both existing as well as new units are covered under this scheme. Manufacturing and service sector, included with effect from 15th November 2021, are eligible under the scheme. The scheme is only for SC/ST MSEs who have purchased plant and machineries and equipment through term loan from PLI. Maximum or ceiling limit of rupees 1 crore. Capital subsidy at the rate of 25% of the term loan sanctioned for purchase of plant and machinery and equipment, maximum rupees 25 lakh, shall be available under this scheme. Online application and tracking system already in place and amended in accordance to the revised provisions. Now, Bank of India Stand Up India Scheme. Objective: to facilitate bank loans of over rupees 10 lakhs and up to rupees 100 lakhs to at least one scheduled caste or scheduled tribes borrower and at least one woman borrower for setting up a greenfield enterprise or first time venture of the beneficiary. This enterprise may be in manufacturing, services or the trading sector. In case of non-individual enterprises, at least 51% of the shareholding and controlling stake should be held by either an SC or ST or woman entrepreneur. Eligibility: SC or ST and or women entrepreneurs above 18 years of age. Loans under the scheme are available for only greenfield project. Greenfield signifies in this context the first time venture of the beneficiary in the manufacturing or services or trading sector. In case of non-individual enterprises, 51% of the shareholding and controlling stake should be held by either SC or ST and or women entrepreneur. Borrowers should not be in default to any bank or financial institution. Nature of loan: composite loan, inclusive of term loan and working capital of over rupees 10 lakhs and up to rupees 100 lakhs. Purpose of loan: for setting up a new enterprise in manufacturing or trading or services sector, activities allied to agriculture by SC, ST or women entrepreneur. Size of loan: composite loan of 85% of the project cost inclusive of term loan and working capital. The stipulation of the loan being expected to cover 85% of the project cost would not apply if the borrower's contribution along with convergence support from any other schemes exceeds 15% of the project cost. Rate of interest: low rate of interest. Security: besides primary security, the loan may be secured by collateral security or guarantee of Credit Guarantee Fund Scheme for Stand-up India loans (CGFSIL). Repayment: the loan is repayable in 84 months with maximum moratorium period of 18 months. Working capital: for drawal of working capital up to rupees 10 lakh, the same may be sanctioned by way of overdraft. Rupee debit card to be issued for convenience of the borrower. Working capital limit above rupees 10 lakh to be sanctioned by way of cash credit limit. Margin money: the scheme envisages 15% margin money which can be provided in convergence with eligible central or state schemes, while such schemes can be drawn upon for availing admissible subsidies or for meeting margin money requirements. In all cases, the borrower shall be required to bring in minimum of 10% of the project cost as own contribution. Processing fees and documentation charges. Processing charges or documentation charges or inspection charges as per extant guidelines of the bank. Now Bank of India Star Waiver Mudra Scheme. Bank of India Star Waiver Mudra Scheme. The handloom scheme aims at providing adequate and timely assistance from the bank to the waivers to meet their credit requirement. Purpose: for working capital and term loan requirement of the waiver. Objective: the handloom scheme aims at providing adequate and timely assistance from the bank to the waivers to meet their credit requirement, that is for investment needs as well as for working capital in a flexible and cost-effective manner. The scheme will be implemented both in rural and urban areas. Nature and extent of loan. Cash credit limit minimum rupees 50,000 and for silk weaving minimum rupees 1 lakh, maximum up to rupees 5 lakhs. Term loan limit maximum rupees 2 lakhs. Comprehensive working capital plus term loan maximum rupees 5 lakhs. Insurance cover. Insurance cover may be arranged by the bank for the assets financed as per existing norms, cost to be borne by the beneficiary and to be debited to his loan account. Subsidy provided by the government. Interest subsidy to provide loans at the interest rate of 6% to handloom sector. The quantum of interest subsidy to be borne by the Government of India will be limited to the difference between the actual rate of interest as applicable or charged by the bank and 6% interest to be borne by the borrower. The maximum interest subvention would be capped at 7%. Interest subsidy as applicable will be provided for maximum 3 years from the date of first disbursement. Interest subsidy will be credited to the account of the borrower on monthly basis. Margin money assistance at the rate of 20% of the project cost, subject to a maximum of rupees 10,000 per waiver, will be provided, which will enable the handloom waivers to leverage this amount for borrowing loans from the banks. Margin money subsidy will be credited to the account of borrower after sanction of the loan. Annual guarantee fee (AGF) of CGTMSE, all accounts should be covered under CGTMSE. The credit guarantee fee due on part of beneficiary will be paid by Ministry of Textiles. Note: interest subsidy and credit guarantee assistance will be provided for maximum 3 years from the date of first disbursement. Security, principal, hypothecation of assets, that is raw material, work in progress, finished goods, equipments, plant and machineries, book debts, etc., created out of bank loan and margin. Security, collateral. The loans must be covered under Credit Guarantee Scheme of Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises (CTMSE) and Credit Guarantee Fund for Micro Units (CGFMU). Eligibility: new and existing handloom weavers involved in weaving activity. Margin: 20% of the project cost. Ministry of Textiles, Government of India to bear margin at the rate of 20% of project cost with a maximum rupees 10,000. Balance margin money amount to be borne by borrower. Assessment of loan. Working capital. Working capital limit be assessed by simplified turnover method. That is, bank finance will be 20% of turnover and 5% of turnover will be the margin. The working capital limit by way of cash credit is expected to be utilized as a revolving cash credit and will provide any number of withdrawals and repayment within the limit. Assessment of loan. Term loan. Need-based term loan to be extended to acquire assets like tools, equipments, accessories, machineries, etc. for carrying out weaving activities. Term loan will be repayable in monthly or quarterly installments within 3 to 5 years, depending upon the project profitability or repayment capacity of the borrower over and above the gestation period up to 6 months. Renewal or review of working capital limits. Renewal or review of credit facilities will be done annually. Issue of card for availment of cash credit account for loans up to rupees 50,000 to be disbursed by way of Mudra card. For loans above rupees 50,000, amount will be disbursed by way of opening regular cash credit account. Beneficiaries under the scheme will be issued with a RuPay card having the day limit of rupees 15,000 per day or as per the extant guidelines of the bank in respect of card limit and daily withdrawal limit. Validity period of limit. The limit section will be valid for 3 years, subject to annual review by the bank based on genuine trade transactions and satisfactory track record. After 3 years, the credit facilities may continue, but no subsidies or subvention will be provided by the government. Rate of interest. Sanction limit rupees 50,000 to less than rupees 2 lakh. Rate of interest is 1 year RBLR plus BSS plus CRP is 1%. Sanction limit of rupees 2 lakh to up to rupees 5 lakhs. Rate of interest is 1 year RBLR plus BSS plus CRP of 2%. Disposal of loan application. Maximum time schedule as per the amount of the proposals under the MSME advances is as under. Credit limits up to rupees 2 lakhs. Maximum time schedule is 2 weeks. Credit limits above rupees 2 lakhs and up to rupees 5 lakhs. Maximum time schedule is 4 weeks. Credit risk taking. No credit rating since maximum credit limit proposed is below rupees 5 lakhs. Other terms and conditions. All accounts should be sanctioned subject to satisfactory report from CIBIL, Credit Information Bureau, India Limited. Sale proceeds of goods supplied to government departments by all the handloom weavers routed through their accounts to keep the accounts in order. Funds released. Methodology for release of funds. For branches, margin money subsidy. After sanction of loan, financing branches will calculate and claim the tentative amount of margin money subsidy from head office or nodal branch in advance. After receiving the subsidy, the account may be disbursed and the subsidy will be credited to the loan account of the borrower. Interest subsidy. Financing branches will calculate the interest subsidy and send the claim of the said amount with the details of the borrowers covered under the scheme on monthly basis to nodal branch or head office through their respective zonal offices within 7 days from the end of the month. Interest is to be served by borrowers as and when charged in the account, and upon receipt of the subsidy amount, the account will be credited. CGT-MSE fees. After sanction of loan, financing branch will debit the CGT-MSE fees to the account of the borrower and pay the CGT-MSE fees through respective zonal offices. Then financing branch will send the claim of the said amount with the details of the borrowers covered under the scheme on quarterly basis to nodal branch or head office through their respective zonal offices within 7 days of end of the respective quarter. For nodal branch or head office, margin money subsidy. Tentative amount of fund for payment of margin money subsidy will be claimed by bank in advance, which may be credited to dedicated account for receiving advance for the margin money subsidy under WEAVER MUDRA Scheme Management Information System or data related to the number and amount of the borrower along with other required information covered under the scheme will be sent to the Ministry of Textile on monthly basis. Unutilized fund will be refunded to the ministry accordingly. Interest subsidy. Similarly, a dedicated account will be opened for holding this fund received and claimed from ministry in advance. Management information system or data related to the number and amount of the borrower along with other required information covered under the scheme will be sent to the ministry on monthly basis. Unutilized fund will be refunded to the ministry accordingly. CGT-MSE fees. Like as in above subsidies, a dedicated account will be opened for holding this fund received and claimed from ministry in advance. Management information system or data related to fees charged by CGT-MSE in case of waiver borrowers along with other required information covered under this scheme will be sent to the ministry on monthly basis. Unutilized fund will be refunded to the ministry accordingly. Formula for calculation of financial assistance. Margin money per borrower. 20% of the loan amount and maximum rupees 10,000. Interest subsidy per account. Actual interest charged in the account minus 6%. Formula for calculation of financial assistance. CGTMSE fees. As per extent guidelines of CGTMSE. Documents. Loan application and documentation. Stock statements and financials are required to be submitted by borrower for loans above rupees 2 lakhs. Original bills or invoices to be submitted in case of term loan for any purchase of equipment or machineries. Now, Bank of India TUFS, Technology Upgradation Fund Scheme. Bank of India TUFS, Technology Upgradation Fund Scheme for textile and jute industries from Ministry of Textiles, Government of India. Purpose: the amended Technology Upgradation Fund Scheme (ATUFS) has been notified by the Ministry of Textiles, Government of India by Resolution number 6/5/2015 TUFS dated 13 January 2016 and revised by Resolution number 6/5 by 2015 TUFS dated 2nd August 2018. Objective: the objective of the ATUFS is to promote ease of doing business and achieve the vision of generating employment and promoting exports to make in India with zero effect and zero defect in manufacturing. The government decided to provide credit-linked capital investment subsidy (CIS) under amended Technology Upgradation Fund Scheme (ATUFS). Objective: the ATUFS will be implemented from 13th January 2016 to 31st March 2022, which will provide one-time capital subsidy for investments in the employment and technology-intensive segments of the textile value chain, keeping in view promotion of exports and import substitution. The scheme will be credit-linked and project for technology upgradation covered by a prescribed limit of term loan sanctioned by the lending agencies will only be eligible for grant of benefit under ATUFS. It will also indirectly promote investment in textile machinery having benchmark technology manufacturing. Benefits: A2FS benefit is available for the benchmark textile machinery under the scheme covering the following activities: weaving preparatory and knitting, processing of fibers, yarns, fabrics, garments, and made-ups. Benefits: technical textiles, garment or made-up manufacturing, handloom sector, silk sector, jute sector. Eligibility: every individual entity will be eligible for one-time capital subsidy only on the eligible investment as per the rates and the overall subsidy cap. For details, visit txcindia.gov.in. Now, Bank of India cluster-based lending. Objective: to frame cluster-based schemes for providing assistance to a pool of borrowers engaged in common business activity in a particular geographical area. Identification of clusters. To be identified as per potential available in the cluster. Minimum 30 units should be active within the cluster. A cluster may be defined as a geographical area within a range of say 200 km to 250 km. All the units in the cluster should have proper backward or forward integration or linkages. Cluster identified by UNIDO, Ministry of MSME. Purpose of finance. For meeting the fund-based working capital or term loan and non-fund-based BG or LC requirements of units or borrowers in a particular cluster. Nature of facility. Working capital, term loan and NFB, LC or BG limits. Quantum of finance. The quantum finance to an individual borrower in a specific cluster should be needs-based and to be assessed as per requirement of business. Eligibility criterion for individual borrowers under cluster. All business entities engaged in manufacturing, services, and should be classified under MSME as per MSMED Act. All business entities should have valid GST registration wherever it is applicable. Security criteria for individual borrowers. CGTMSE covered accounts. CGTMSE coverage should be obtained in all eligible accounts. Coverage under hybrid security product of CGTMSE to be encouraged. Non-CGTMSE covered accounts. For working capital, minimum CCR 0.65. For term loan or composite loan, minimum FACR is 1. Thank you very much for your patience.